Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Hey, we're back at it with our final episode of the top whiskeys of 2023. And so for today, it's actually going to be the top allocated whiskeys of 2023 that yours truly tried, right? So the ones that I tried personally in 2023 and absolutely flat out loved. So I will say the other two episodes, the top non-allocated and the top rise, those were both top fives. This one, there was a lot of really good allocated whiskeys in 2023, so I expanded it a little bit, and this is actually going to be a top 10 list. No asterisk, though, today, so no asterisk. All right, but before we kick it off, let me go ahead and give a huge welcome to our newest patrons. So I'm going to go ahead and welcome my good friend Sean C., Lango, and Andrew B. So Sean, Lango, as well as Andrew, hey, welcome to the Judge family. As we say, welcome to our community, where we try to have a little bit of fun, right? Between our happy hours, our chats going back and forth to the score, where we, exchange samples and so forth, and our meetups and barrel picks and all that other good stuff. So, Sean, Lango, and Andrew, again, welcome to the Judge family, as well as all my other patrons. Thank you for all the support and all the love, as well as all the subscribers as well. Thank you for always watching the channel too. All right, so top 10 allocated whiskeys of 2023. So I'm going to go through each one and just very high level tell you the reason why I enjoy these. It's each one is very unique in its own way. So I think we'll have a little bit of fun. Cool? All right. So these are going to be ranked in order. We're going to go 10 through 1. Oh man, this is fun. Can't wait. All right. The number 10 allocated whiskey of 2023 comes from a brand that, again, I think they've done a superb job of truly changing their brand as a whole. Like when you think back to this brand 5 years ago, this would have been in no one's top, not this product, but just the brand itself would have not been in anyone, no whiskey tubers top 10 whiskey of the year, if you will. But because they've started to change it up a little bit between all their different variety of whiskeys that they have out there, hence the reason why this one deserves to be in my top 10. So number 10, Jack Daniel's 12-year. So I will say the Jack Daniel's 10-year whiskey, bourbon, whatever you want to call it, the Jack Daniel's 10-year is good. But the Jack Daniel's 12-year, this bad boy is flat out amazing. I've had a chance to sample this myself numerous occasions, shared with some of my patrons as well, which I love doing. And let's just say that whiskey belongs, again, in its own category. Hence the reason why it is such a phenomenal pour. It really is the modern day great Jack Daniel's super aged whiskey that we all love. So Jack Daniel's 12-year, number 10. All right, let's keep this party moving. Number 9, great brand. I struggle with this one because there were two that were probably tied equally that could have been in this number 9 spot from this brand by itself. But I went with the one that I thought was just a little bit better than the other. So number 9 goes to our good friends over at Foregate. So this is Foregate Kelvin collaboration number 5. So you might be wondering, well, Judge, what was the other version of Foregate that you thought belonged in this category? I would probably say, honestly, it would be Foregate Kelvin 60. That release was absolutely amazing as well. But when I really had a chance to kind of sip the two side by side, Kelvin 5, it just won out. I mean, Foregate always done a great job of finishing, older aged whiskey. And every single release that I've ever had have always been hitters. So Kelvin Collab number 5. Nice job, Foregate. Keep it up. Keep up the great work. All right. Let's keep this party moving. Number 8. Oh, boy. This was a sleeper for me. So I did not review this one on the channel, but I had it when I went to the distillery. So Mrs. Judge and I went out to Kentucky a few months ago, and I had it at the distillery, and I was like, damn, this is good. So I immediately, while we're sitting there, right, you got to picture this, right? We're at the bar, Mrs. Judge and I, we're having some pours, and or at least I was having some pours. She's my DD, thank goodness. No whiskey for Mrs. Judge. So I'm like, I'll be right back, babe. I literally went right over to the gift shop and grabbed a bottle of this. Coming in the number 8 spot, probably one of the best finished bourbons as well in 2023 that I had. But this is Bardstown Bourbon Company, the collaborative series, the Carter Cellar. So this is the essentially, Bardstown Bourbon Company. They partner with Mark and Sherry Carter. and this is their wine finished, their bourbon finished in the wine cask, the Cabernet Napa Cabernet barrels, right? So the old Carter, their wine, they use the wine barrels to finish their bourbon in those Napa barrels, Napa Cabernet barrels. This bottle, if you have not had it, please try this at a bar. Try it at a bar, a restaurant, any reputable, whiskey bar should hopefully have a bottle of this. This was absolutely an amazing bottle, one that I flat out loved, and I've had it neat and I love it, and I know it's going to be fantastic with the cigar, which I think I'm going to have later today. All right, that's the number 8 spot. What comes in the number 7 spot, Judge? Whew. All right, so the number 7 whiskey of 2023, allocated whiskey of 2023, this technically came out in late 22. However, things sometimes come out like in Q4 of a year, and unfortunately, I didn't get a bottle of it until 2023. So when I tried it was in 2023. This whiskey is just amazing. This comes from our local, the whole Maryland Heritage Series. So look that up, the Maryland Heritage Series. I've reviewed some of the Maryland Heritage Series, some of their other sub-brands before. But essentially what happened was a couple places. Drug City, a liquor store in Maryland. Allview, a liquor store also in Maryland, and then also Sealbox. They partnered together. They got into some older MGP whiskey that has just been sitting and aging in barrels. It was also aging part 2, not only originally in, of course, in Indiana from MGP, but then part 2, they aged it in Maryland. They came up with a whole bunch of different, let's call them sub-releases. This one here, though, is the Sherwood, the Pure Rye, aged 14 years. If you have not had this, again, this bottle, I know it dropped on Steelbox. It was a little expensive, but if you can find it at a bar, even just a small little pour of it, you will see the reason why this ended up on my list as my number 7 of 2023. Absolutely amazing. This whiskey, whew, Maryland Heritage Series, Drug City, Allview, you guys did a phenomenal job when you guys got this whiskey. I'll tell you that much. All right. Let's keep this going. Keep it going. Number 7. All right. Before we get into number 6, real quick, 3 quick easy favors. Number 1, hit the like button. Number 2, drop me a comment. Let me know what were some of your favorite allocated whiskeys of 2023. And last but not least, please make sure you all subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you get notification each and every time I release new content. Cool? All right. Cheers, everybody. Woo! If you're wondering what's in my glass, this right here. Damn it, it's good. All right. We are going on to number 6. So number 6, I believe it's the second release of it. And it was just, to me, it was the epitome of what you want for this brand. It's rich, it's creamy, it's oaky, has a little bit of like the peanut notes in there. And it's just flat out amazing. So the number 6 spot goes to Russell's Reserve 13 years. Oh, man. This Russell's 13 years is just flat out, it's honestly just, it's great turkey whiskey. It really is. Truly. And every Russell's 13 bottle that I've ever had, each batch, always amazing. Exactly what you want. Hence the reason why it's number 6 on my list. All right. What is number 5, Judge, and why? More important, why? All right, so number 5 is a bottle that I've had numerous samples of from friends, but the bottle itself, unfortunately, I did not have a chance to purchase it, right? It's eluded me time after time. However, friends have given me samples, patrons have given me samples, so I kind of feel like I almost kind of had like a full bottle out of it. Very fortunate and thankful for all my friends out there who share samples with me. But number 5, don't have it, but Maker's Mark Cellar Age. Man, when you want to talk about kind of like Jack, Maker's has also did an amazing job of truly just changing their brand. They truly have revitalized their brand as a whole. And that Maker's Cellar Age whiskey, woo, it is flat out amazing. Hence the reason why it comes in the 5 spot. Don't have it here with me now, but I've had enough samples of it even recently at another buddy's house. It's just amazing, honestly. It's just truly amazing whiskey and belongs right here, well, if it was here, in the 5 spot. All right, that's Maker's. Number 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Now we're getting to the top Oh man, this is getting good. So what's number 4, Judge, and why? So number 4 comes from a brand that is probably one of my favorite brands overall. Like truly one of my favorite brands overall. I think I might have the most of, not this particular bottle, but the most of this brand in my house because I love their whiskey that much. I love it neat and I love it with a cigar. I just love their whiskey in general. But number 4, flat out, the Michter's Bourbon aged 10 years. So the 2023 release of the Michter's 10-year bourbon. I don't think you can get anything better than this. I mean, it's amazing. It's everything you want in a Michter's 10-year product. And as I said in the episode, it's probably one of the best 10-year bourbon releases that Michter's has ever released themselves. I think the 2023 might have been the best release from a Michter's 10-year bourbon since they've kind of started the whole 10-year release, if you will. So by far, Michter's 10-year, flat out amazing. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Oh boy, we're getting to the end here. Woo! It's gonna be fun. We get another little sip. Cheers, everyone. Woo! All right, these last 3, I had a chance to sit back and I had to try them in a blind. Now, one of them is very unique, so I knew which one it was. But I just kept sipping them over and over and over just to make sure I had the order right in terms of 3, 2, 1. Honestly, they were all very interchangeable. I mean, I ranked them as 3, 2, 1, but honestly, 3 could be 1, 1 could be 2. They are almost like kind of tied, but I'm going to put them in order and I'll tell you the reason why. All right, number 3, this is the 2023 release of it. This is a brand that many of us, now I can't say everyone, but most people in the whiskey world love this brand and they love this pour. When you have it, it is such a unique experience. And I do say the word experience because there is nothing else like it on the market. Number 3 comes from our good friends over at 13th Colony Double Oak. Now, it's not of course, batch 1, the 2022 release was great. I don't have a bottle of the 2023, but I did get a sample, of course, also from 13th Colony. So 13th Colony batch 2, that's the reason why I have this one right here, the sample. Batch 2 from the 2023 release. It is just special whiskey. There's nothing else to say. It is just special. And by far, it is the best double oaked whiskey on the market. Hands down, nothing is even somewhat close, right? Nothing is even somewhat close. So by far, 13th Colony, double oaked, the 2023 release, batch 2, is flat out amazing. All right, that's the number 3 spot. Number 2 and number 1. Oh, woo! We are here, folks. This is fun. So number 2 for me, this is a single barrel. This one is close because it honestly could have been my number 1 as well. I mean, it was this close to being my number 1. I'll give you a little hint. It was my number 1, well, the other version of it, age 14 years, was my number 1 whiskey of 2022. So it was almost close to being a repeat. But my number 2 whiskey of 2023, allocated whiskey that is, good friends, Lucky 7, age 15 years, the proprietor. If you've ever had a chance to have a bottle or a sample of the proprietor age, like last year was 14 years, 2023 was the age 15 years, it's a special pour. It truly is a special pour. So as most people know, it's supposed to be sourced, older, cask strength Barton whiskey. And if you've ever had a sample of this or a pour of it, you'll know the reason why it's my number 2 whiskey. It's bold, it's vibrant, it belongs up there with the top dogs. It really does in the whiskey world. Number 2, the proprietor, age 15 years, flat out amazing. All right, Judge, what is your number 1 whiskey of 2023? Allocated whiskey, that is, and why? I'm going to give you the reason why before I bring out the bottle. So when I think of a pour that is complex, that just embodies everything that you want from a whiskey experience, fantastic nose, fantastic palate, a beautiful, bold finish, a long finish, and one that each and every time when you reach for the bottle, you're like, I know exactly what I'm getting each and every time I have this pour. Number one whiskey of 2023 belongs to Found North Peregrine. This bottle right here is flat out amazing. And I mean amazing. The whiskey happens to be just that damn good. So yes, I am drinking some damn good whiskey. Hey friends, until the next time, peace, cheers, and most important, salute. Take care everyone. See ya.